Hey everyone, if you're new here, I'm Al. Or if you're coming back, welcome back. I'm Al. I go by Dapper Chef on Poshmark and eBay. I'm a full-time foodie, part-time reseller. So today's video is going to be a little different than a thrift haul per se. This is going to be all my my personal sunglasses that I have thrifted or bought secondhand, either from a thrift store, the Real, or a buy-sell trade. So each pair, roughly, I'm going to say everything, each pair broken down, maybe I spent about $10 a pop. Some obviously more, some obviously less, but figure maybe like $10 total for each pair. We'll just say average. And it is pretty much a big, hefty box. So let's get started. So a lot of these are just random brands or some mainstream designer brands and some underrated obscure designer brands that you might want to look for if you're looking to branch out into sunglasses. So this, not only am I kind of like a fashiony guy, I guess you want to say. I love my sunglasses. I don't know. That's about it. So let's get started. First guy, and bear with me, I don't know the style names of a lot of these. So this will be a learning experience for a lot of us. So first pair is an Alexander McQueen. These are kind of these nice blue, like a navy color, kind of Wayfair, plasticky sunglasses. These are kind of a fun pop of color. Next guy, another pair of Alexander McQueens. These I like because I like wearing these during the Halloween time. They have the nice little Alexander McQueen skull. Again, Wayfair. You can kind of see a theme. I like a lot of my Wayfair glasses and my round lenses. I'm starting to get into aviators a little bit. I do have a whole bunch of Ray-Bans, but I don't wear them as much, so those I'll probably sell. Everything else I'm usually keeping. Next guy, technically is a designer, I want to say, but it's more like a mainline. It's Sandro, Sandro. These are kind of very Y2K for me. I would say these are like a Y2K style, so maybe I will list these. I don't wear a whole lot, just because of the little shape, and I got a weird shaped head, which doesn't help when you're wearing sunglasses because it kind of messes up the normal shape of them, I think. Next guy. Some John Varvatos. Tortoise. And I forgot what style these are. These are like the crossbars. But these are kind of like what I call like my no pictures please. No pictures please. Like one of these kind of glasses. One of my friends always makes the joke. Whenever I wear these ones, it always reminds them I'm like a Kris Jenner, which that's always the inside joke. Oh no, I brought up the Kris Jenner glasses. But John Varvatos, good one. This one is kind of an underrated brand, but people know them for their shoes. Not so much, you rarely find their clothing or their accessories, at least for me. So the two stars that are cut up, these are Golden Goose. These, I like them. I don't know if I wouldn't consider them like cat eye. They're like an in-between between an oval and a cat eye. But these I kind of like, just, super casual. If I'm doing more of like a striped linen-y top with some nice cool like shorts or some like an all-in outfit. Kind of breaks up the blues. Next guy, these are what I call my Kanye or my LMFAO sunglasses. These are Kenzo. They're very faint, but Kenzo. So what I notice, as far as if you're trying to figure out if glasses are authentic or are fake, the easiest way to tell is just look at the quality. Like, I'll show you some like faked designers, but the way I know they're real is just based on my past experience and just kind of based on what I've worn personally. So like these guys, These are unassuming, not from the brand you'd think they'd be from. So these nice gold, almost like a oblique rectangle kind of crossbar. I think these are called it's called like a crossbar. But these are Burberry, which is very, it's very different for being Burberry as far as what you're used to. So biggest thing with Burberry is what I always look at is the nose pad should have like usually has like the little Nova check. But what I have noticed is sometimes if it's a prescription pair of glasses or if they've been repaired, they usually don't have the traditional nose pads. So that does not necessarily mean they're fake. The other thing you want to look for sometimes on designer is the serial number is usually right here. And usually a lot of the main like designers, they'll be etched in here. It'll be textured. There's a couple brands I'll show you later on. You'll see what I mean a little bit better. As far as their serial number will be actually prescribed or inscribed on the frame, like bottom of the frame, or actually on the lens with the like heat stamped. Next guy, Stella McCartney, which I know a lot of these technically are women's, but you know, glasses are unisex. So I find I get my best deals looking at the women's glasses. These I know I got for like $1.25 because of like they're all worn. But this one I know is not really designer anymore, but it's Rag & Bone. I called these my Taylor Swift sunglasses because I know she's worn this colorway before. So Rag & Bone, R&B. So here's a perfect example of Rag & Bone. What I was talking about, some of the logos on glasses. If you look really closely, it might not show. It's very faint. But like right here is the logo etched into the lens. That usually is better quality. And, you know, what you look at is the hinges, the nose pads, and the lenses to see if there's any etching. The only thing I don't like about these is they fade. They've been starting to fade and crack off. So I don't know if I'm going to try to like fix these up and like recolor them or just let them kind of fade away. Some blue oval glasses. This is a good bolo, which you don't see a whole lot as far as this shape. So it's Maui Jim. And this style of Maui Jim is one of the sought after ones, I think. Because I know I had hunted this down for a long time. But these are the pineapple. So the pineapple is not the color. Pineapple is, I guess, is just the style. So it's like an oval. Almost like a oval polarized or mirrored maybe. These are just a fun little 4th of July or usually traveling. Next ones. These are probably one of the very first designer shades I found. And these are like what I joke about. These are my beaters. As you can tell, I probably had these for a good like 4 or 5 years. You might know what brand this is before I even show it, but think about who's known for the braided leather. And these I think I got for like 99 cents because I didn't... Because I forgot where I got these. I think this was a random Goodwill. Back in the day when Goodwill actually priced stuff dirt cheap. But these are Bottega Veneta. So what do we think? At the end of the video, and if you guys want to drop in comments which pair is your favorite and which pair you think looks best on me. I'm always struggling trying to decide what shape looks best on me. Next guy, another pair for Bottega Venetas. So Bottega Veneta, what I like to look for as far as kind of sorting these out from the crowds is the easiest way to tell from what I've noticed is their logo. Usually it's that little obscure stacked line here and here or down here. And these are known as like the green. The green ones are very popular. So these are like a green aviator. And last pair of Bottegas. Yes, I was on a Bottega kick. These are like the aluminum frames. So Bottega, gold. And here's the logo. This is the usual what I'm talking about. If I ever see this, I know it's usually Bottega. So these are my good traveling kind of knockarounds because I know that they hold up very well. Next guy. You might be able to tell who these are. Actually, not these ones. These are Tom Ford's. They're Tom Ford. So like Tom Ford, if they're original ones, they'll be the lenses will have the Tom Ford etched into there. And what's nice about Tom Ford is their style name is usually right here. So these are the Jakes. The only real wear on these guys that I noticed is the top of the trim is falling off. So I think that's probably why I got these for really discounted price at, I think it was a closed mentor. Next guy, just a pair of Salvatore Ferragamos. Again, what we noticed before, you want to look for the etched in lens, the name in lens. So what I've noticed also is a lot of, sometimes if someone gets some prescription strength or goes to like a sunglass hut, the quality is not going to be the same, or these could be like an outlet piece. Next guy, another pair of Tom Fords. Tom Ford you could easily identify right away with the T, but do be careful because Tahari is doing this, as well as Ted Baker. But Tom Ford, these are the Guillo, Giulio. And again, with Tom Ford, you can see kind of on here, the serial number is going to be etched here, as well as the style here. Don't ask me how to read lenses. I know there's a way to tell like what lens size it is, if it's prescription or not. I just know just based on if it fits me or not. Next guy, this is I consider this a very good bolo. This is a very good bolo as well as a very underrated designer. But look for this. Before I show you the logo, so there's two things to look for this to determine the logo. These two dots here, and then if anyone knows what this is, right away, you'll know. So their logo is circle, circle, down, triangle, square, square. And it is Oliver Peoples. Oliver Peoples, LA. So one thing you look for, which I've noticed the fakes for Oliver People, is it'll be Oliver Peoples, but instead of the normal S, they'll do like apostrophe S. So if you see apostrophe S, be wary of it. It should just be Oliver Peoples, like plural people. And these are the Tinleys, polarized. Next guy. These have been on my bolo list for the longest time. And I just happened to find these on ridiculous, underpriced. I guess they didn't sell at one of the consignment stores I usually go to. So these made it all the way down to their 90% off sale. So these are a pair of Gucci's. I like these because they're nice kind of shade of a green. And these, let me see if I can show you the other. So this style, you'll find a lot on like Easy Contacts. This is a normal one that people get a lot of prescription strengths for. So if you ever see the Gucci aviators or Wayfarers like that, just know it's probably a prescription, so it's not a knockoff. Next guy, perfect little Y2K again. These are Stella McCartney's. I think what made this style popular is one of the K-pop or Japanese pop, whatever they are. One of their singers wore these, the Jimin. So that kind of brought the popularity up for them. Next guy, Prada. Little smoked tortoise shell. These have been altered a little bit. You could tell just based on the shape, but still, Prada. When you're gonna say you can find Prada for under $20? Next guy, a pair of MCMs. These I think I got from like a Nordstrom for like $30 originally, but these are what I call my groovy, my hippie ones. Next piece, if you see these studdeds, the studding, you might know what brand these are. It is Valentino. So these guys, nice little aviator style. So don't think I'm kind of bragging or being showboaty as far as what I have. I just think it's kind of cool because I don't see a lot of people talk about what they actually thrift and keep for themselves as far as like accessories. I know a lot of people do, oh, my thrifted wardrobe. But I think I want to do that down the road. I'm going to kind of phase into it when we do a kind of like my designer, my thrifted designer, my thrifted Lulu, like my go-to, my essential thrifted pieces. Because I think that's kind of cool. You don't see a lot of men, especially men, doing like these kind of videos as far as on YouTube. I don't know about TikTok. I don't do TikTok. But I'm thinking I kind of want to maybe start dabbling into that too. Let me know what you guys think. Next guy. Some Isabel Marants. These I like. I just don't know the colors. These look kind of like Elton John or Willy Wonka, the Johnny Depp Willy Wonka to me. But, you know, they're good, basic. These, I know if I lose them, I'm not going to feel as guilty. But, I don't know. Maybe I'll find the right outfit to wear with these. Next guy, you might know. So the triangle here, these are Fendi. I like these. These kind of have like, there might be, I don't know how they're going to show on camera. But I like these because they have the little wave flag detail to the lenses. And they're kind of these cool like teal color. These I'm thinking about selling. I just don't like the shape, how they lay on me. I don't know about me, but I think it's just because I have a wonky, like, slanted head. I don't know. What do we think? They kind of don't sit flush for the way I like them. But these are Montclair. Next guy, some Burberrys. These I love. These I wore like a lot last summer. I know I'm gonna still keep wearing these all the time. They're just a classic. They never go out of style. And you know, some people like sunglasses that like scream designer. Or these almost scream designer in my sense, but they're very subtle. They're not like in your face spell out. These kind of look like more like they're like a plaid tortoiseshell. I just like these just for, kind of the basic, in a sense. Next guy, these are usually my go-to like fall sunglasses. Yes, I wear sunglasses all season long. These are like my fall and winter ones. These are Montclair. What I liked about these is, which I have somewhere, but the case is kind of like a mini micro puffer, which that's usually my go-to sunglass bag when I put it in my bags. Next guy screams Y2K, Guy Fieri. These are Burberry. They're kind of like a funk. I like these because of the funky colorway. Very stand out. Or be kind of cool for wearing cosplay for Inside Out. Next guy, you know, by the T. So these are Tom Ford. These are the Leo Polarized. So these are kind of similar to my other gold ones from Burberry, but these are Bottegas again. I just like this because of the very minimal design. I like it, and because they're a little smaller, which I like the in between. I like all different shapes. I like some of the oversized. I like some of the smaller ones. I think some sunglasses just don't get as much. We don't get as much fun stuff as far as like women's do with their accessories. So if you guys know any good like men's brands that are kind of fun or different, let me know, because I'm always trying to find out some fun stuff for my own fashion. Next guy, keep a lookout for this eye. This is good, not crazy designer, but this is like another one of those underrated brands like Oliver Peoples. But the brand is Illustiva or Alastiva. These are probably going to be like the in-between like a Key or the Pre-Revaux and the Ray-Ban. Usually retail, I think for those, you're looking maybe about 120, 130. Resale, maybe like $50, 40 to 50, give or take, depending on the style. Next guy. This, at one point, was a very good bolo. I don't know how they're doing now, but keep a lookout for this. So it's SS down here. These are the Marshalls, and the brand is Sunday Somewhere. So this used to be like the brand before Key and Pre-Revaux and Key, Pre-Revaux, and what's that other one that everyone always wears now? And Desi's. This is before this. So these were like the Cali brand of sunglasses, I think. Don't quote me on that. I'm not an expert, but based on what I saw before. Next guy, pair of Marnies. These are kind of like, because they're kind of a quirky shape. These are usually if I'm going to go to like an art show or a music fest. Next guy. These are kind of cool. They got a nice little leather wrap on the top. They're kind of like a tinted, kind of like an ombre red. And these are Todd's. Next guy, Rag and Bones. These are anytime I have like a 70s theme. These kind of give me 70s or 60s vibes. Again, the Rock Studs. These are like little camo from Valentino. These I don't wear much. I forgot I had these in here. See what happens when you do these kind of videos? You kind of learn stuff you never knew you still had. Next guy. Let me know if you guys know what brand this is based on the logo. It's I don't hear a lot of people talk about this brand as much as they used to. But the logo, I think, is like a scale and something else. But it's Lanvin or Lanvin. I never know how to say it, but I like these because they're quirky. They're like a reverse half glasses, if that makes sense. Next guy, a little pair of Star sunglasses. You might know it. This is an iconic style for this brand. These are Saint Laurent's. So there's those. Another pair of Saint Laurent's. These are kind of like a good, like basic, kind of like a gray polarized with a white lens or frame. Then another pair of Saint Laurent's. These are the Slims. These I think I've seen pictures of like Justin Bieber, Justin Timberlake, and a couple other people wearing it. Next guy, Christian Dior CD. These I got, which I don't know. This is the pair I'm questioning. What does everyone think of these? Do these look okay? Like, can these be more unisex, or are these more like a woman's shape? I mean, I don't know. I got them because they're cool. I just like the little details on them. Next guy, this is another good staple bolo to look for. Persol, P-E-R-S-O-L. Purcell does a lot of collabs with other brands, like J.W. Anderson, which, if you know J.W. Anderson, that is my favorite brand, which I never find. So if anyone ever comes across J.W. Anderson stuff, feel free to reach out. Not the Uniqlo J.W. Anderson, only because I usually collect all those. But his other stuff, if you see it, holler at me. Next piece. These you probably might know just based on this logo. It is Vivienne Westwood. These, I think I'm just going to sell these because I don't like these. They're just a weird color. They're pink. I mean, nothing wrong with that. I just don't like the shape. If they're like a very like different color pink, I probably would be keeping these, but just that shade of pink is a little too glossy and bubblegummy for me. Next guy. This is I think is kind of like a Bolo brand, but certain pieces from this brand. These are very these are very Y2K if I ever say so myself. So this brand, what made them popular again is if you watch the Netflix show about the Mendes brothers, the tracksuit that they wear a lot is this brand. So this logo here, it is Sergio Tacchini. So Sergio, Sergio, and Tacchini, Tacchini. These were, if you're familiar with Casablanca, this was Casablanca before Casablanca was around. I want to say. Next guy, another pair of Sunday Somewheres. These are the Olias. These I always say are like a vibe. Dare I say vibe? I know some people don't like that word. They're nice, kind of very small tortoiseshell circle lenses. Next guy. You see this red stripe? This is Prada. Where is it? Prada. But be wary, because when you see this Prada, when you see this stripe on a Prada, technically it's Prada, but this is a lower line of Prada. This is the Prada Sport or Linea Rossi Prada. You know, like how there's sub-brands within brands. Like there's Christian Dior Monsieur was more like the if you see Christian Dior Monsieur was more like a department store brand back in the day. That one I think is kind of like that. That was more of the men. They would try to get the men to go out to like Macy's or Nordstrom or Berghoff's. That's where they would have that line at. Next guy, these are mainline Prada. As you can see, the quality is a little bit better. And then just my last two pairs. First one left is going to be Sunday Somewheres again. These are the little gods. These I love. These are kind of like a cool, quirky shape. And then last pair is going to be these guys. They are Acne Studios. Which you might be able to kind of make it out, but Acne Studios. What's cool about these is that even on the nameplate, the nose pads, they says Acne Studios. This doesn't scream the brand, because if you know this brand, what you look for that brand is the logo. This is their usual logo for Acne Studios. As you can tell, I wear a lot of Acne Studios. So that is all my designer sunglasses. Let me know what you guys think. What was your favorite pair on me? What was your favorite pair for yourselves? What's something that you guys love to look for as far as sunglasses? I'd be curious to see if anyone sells them, how you do with your selling your glasses. I know I personally, when I sell my sunglasses, like especially my designer ones, I don't sell them myself. I'll just send them in somewhere else just because they take better care of it. And what I've noticed is Like if I send in the Real, they'll actually work. They'll actually refix them, and they'll sell them. So you never know. A lot of these I still have all their cases for and their cloths. My goal is by next year to at least have a couple other brands knocked off my list as far as glasses. Like I would love a pair of Louis Vuittons, Versace. I know I'm missing Louis Vuitton, Versace, Moschino's, Da Vinci or Givenchy, which I had a pair before, but they were more like a woman's cut, a woman's style. So those, Tom Browns, which I have had a few Tom Browns, but they were more just eyeglasses, so I didn't consider them in there. Christian Louboutin, which very seldom he makes glasses. When they make glasses, they sell it super fast, so they're very rare. Another brand that I would love to find is a pair of Celine's for myself. I found a pair. I sold those right away. Gentle Monster, another really good bolo brand to look for as far as glasses. There is a few other brands that I would love to find, but I know I'm never going to find them because they just retail super, super high. And in my areas, I know no one's going to be wearing them. Like there's one brand, Jacqueline Marie something. Retailing them was like almost a car payment, which if you find one of those, yeah, good luck. Chrome Hearts makes some that are very expensive, that are very sought after. Otherwise, that is about it. Let me know what you guys think. Otherwise, I'll see you later. Bye. Thank you so much.